If you're a lineman in charge of keeping the lights on, Grainger understands that you go to great lengths and sometimes heights to ensure the power is always flowing, which is why you can count on Grainger for professional-grade products and next-day delivery, so you have everything you need to get the job done. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, I'm Travis.
And I'm Emma.
And this is Bestie Approved. What's the last song you listened to?
Oh yeah, hold on. Oh, it was open to Bestie Approved. Hold on. I believe, I know the last song I listened to. It was on TikTok. It was a performance of King for a Day by Pierce the Veil, and they brought out Kellen Quinn. It was like the most amazing thing I've ever seen, and I would have lost my mind if I were there.
Oh, I love that.
It was beautiful.
Mine was Red Flag by Kesha.
I love that. Are we on to Kesha? Like, are you in a Kesha only state after her concert?
Yeah, I think so. Yes, we are in a very Kesha place now that I've seen her. My life has been changed for the better.
I'm so happy for you.
So, for everyone out there, I went and saw Kesha on Friday, and it was the best night of my life. So FaceTime lets you leave voicemails now, and Emma received a FaceTime voicemail from me at 2 o'clock in the morning of me literally crying, being like, and my voice was shot to hell, and I was just in a state of euphoria, and I was just like, she's in such a good place. I'm so happy for her. I love her so much, and I was just really happy to be there. It was really good. And let me just tell you, Kesha puts on a fucking show.
Oh yeah, I think she did, even when she was like being tortured.
Yes, she came out and she talked about how like she's happy when she's performing, and like this is why she does it. And oh my god, it was so good.
She doesn't know how not to serve.
No,
to be honest,
not a clue when it comes to being demure.
That's beautiful. Should we, while we're here, should we talk about the day before you went to Kesha?
Why not? So the day before I went to Kesha, Emma and I had what can only be described as medical adventures.
Well, I guess. Travis called me while I was getting in the car to go to the emergency room, and his ass was in the emergency room. I could not believe my eyes.
Well, so you'd already been to the emergency room once that day before
I was
I
going
called
back.
You. Right.
Yeah.
So, do you want to start with yours or do you want to start with mine?
We can go in chronological order.
Okay, go for it.
So, I was having minor things go on with the pregnancy, nothing crazy, but it happened for like a few days, and so I messaged my OB, and I was like, hey, I really just need you to tell me that this is all normal and fine, blah, 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 to which they called me and said, please go to the ER, and I said, okay.
And while we're on that has to be the most terrifying fucking thing an OBGYN can say to someone.
Right. Because when you're pregnant, everything is like, it could be that you're losing the pregnancy, or it could be nothing. Everything. Every single little thing. Every single little thing is like that. And so, yeah, I was terrified, and they were like, okay, so which ER are you going to go to? And I was like, well, if it doesn't matter, I'm just going to go to the one closest to my house. So I do that. They get there, they tell me, what's the most important thing? Or they ask me, what's the most important thing for you today? And I was like, I just want...
What?
Yes. Yeah, they said, what do you need from us, basically? And So what I thought was happening is that I thought I was having an amniotic fluid leak. So I tell them, upon arrival, I want to make sure I'm not leaking amniotic fluid. It's like the stuff the baby is surrounded in my uterus, right?
Right.
And they go, okay, great. We're going to test to see if you have a yeast infection, BV, or UTI. And then, once those are all back, we're going to tell you, we don't have labor and delivery here, and we cannot test to see if you are leaking amniotic fluid. So you should probably call your OB and tell her that we can't run that test, even though we just kept you here for 2 hours for no reason. So I do that, and the OB on call, because at this point it's like 5:30 in the evening. The OB on call is like, I hate to tell you this, but you're gonna have to go to our emergency room so they can run that test. I don't know why they thought it was appropriate to even keep you there, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay, I'll do that. And I did that and everything is fine, right? But on my way there is when I called Travis and he's in the emergency room. Cut to Travis.
So mine is a little more fuzzy than Emma's. So
Oh, because you were unconscious.
Yes.
Okay, good.
So I was at school. I was on campus doing homework, and then I had an interview with another podcast who it's called This Might Get Messy. You'll hear about it in a couple weeks. But I was like, I have to pee before I get in my car. And I wasn't going anywhere special. I wasn't doing anything special. It was a completely normal. And I would actually argue it was a chiller than normal day because I had not had 4 Alani News that day.
So true.
So I go to the bathroom. I have to pee. And I very vividly remember standing at a urinal. And the next thing I know, I wake up in the floor of the bathroom, dick out.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I was just like, what the fuck happened? And all I could feel was my head hurting. And I for a second there, I was like, did someone come up and hit me in the back of the head? Like, that's all I could think. And that didn't happen, obviously. I just passed out. And I was like, let me gather my things because my phone had flown across the room. My Beats were in 2 separate places. It was the most bizarre situation. And I was like, okay, let me just get my shit together and get in the car. And then I proceed to start walking to the car and I was like, God, I am in pain. And then I proceed to feel the back of my head and I look at my hand and I was like, oh, I busted my head open.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, let me go to the closest hospital, which is, for everyone keeping track, is Eskenazi Hospital.
That is the stroke hospital.
Where I went for my stroke. And this is now the second time I've gone into that hospital and I've been like, hey, I don't know what happened, but can we just take a look under the hood and see what's going on? And this is the second time I've gone to that hospital and they've been like, please get in a wheelchair now.
Yeah, I don't think they play around with head trauma. Also, when I went to the second ER, they put me in a wheelchair. I was like, Mama, I was just eating Chick-fil-A in your parking lot.
Right.
I'm fine.
Right. So at this point, I think I'd called Emma already just because I just needed to talk to her. And
yeah, and I called you back.
Yes.
Because I think you called me when I was in the first ER.
I think so.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, so the long and short of it is they don't really know what happened. I have to follow up with my doctor, whatever. And they stapled my head shut. Cut to Emma being on the phone with me and us being like, ha ha ha, we're in the hospital. How funny.
Yeah.
So fucking chaotic. Okay, now it's back to you.
No, everything turned out fine. They like ran a bunch of tests while I was there. They wouldn't let me leave until one of the tests came back, because if it is like a fluid leak, they need to monitor you and like see what's happening inside. La-di-da-di-da. But that does kind of lead me into the pregnancy update for this week. I'm 20 weeks today.
That is wild.
We had the anatomy scan yesterday. The baby is measuring 2 weeks bigger than it's supposed to be. My app says he should be around 10 ounces. He is 15.
So he's
huge.
50% larger than he's supposed to be.
Right.
Him's a thick little boy.
Right.
Him's a thick little boy.
There's like a million things that can lead to that. They say it's like, if you have gestational diabetes, which obviously I've been making myself anxious about, but also like babies don't grow in a linear way. They have like growth spurts. And so he could have just gone through a growth spurt. A lot of babies average out like towards the end of pregnancy. La-di-da-di-da. Not the biggest deal, but he's huge. They saw him kicking and wiggling and being crazy, which was so validating for me, because I feel him all the time, like all the time, constantly, and I didn't have that with Jack. He is just, they were like, definitely a wiggle worm. I was like, yeah.
I love that.
He had his hands like up to his face, like he was gonna box somebody. It was great. He's healthy, everything's fine. Yeah, nothing too crazy. My app says he's the size of a sweet potato, but if he's measuring 22 weeks, he's actually the size of a papaya.
A papaya.
Papaya.
I love that.
Yeah. I can't believe he's almost a pound. It's crazy.
That is wild.
Yeah. They also, I was reading up on this so much yesterday. A lot of people have said that the estimates you get from an ultrasound for weight are a lot of times just like wrong. Like dead wrong. Like I saw some lady on Reddit who was like, they told me I was gonna have an 11-pound baby and they came out under 7 pounds.
I'm gonna be real with you, because I know nothing of the nature of a baby. I guess in my mind, they like weighed you at the beginning of your pregnancy, and then they like just started weighing you as you went on, and that's just how they estimated the weight of the baby. Like that's just how I assumed it worked.
Well, it can't do that because like number one, you're putting on weight, but even besides that, you grow the amniotic sac, you have all the amniotic fluid.
So it weighs more than what the baby would.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. I don't know shit about shit.
There's like so much extra stuff on top of the baby.
Yeah.
The sack that he's floating in, that like holds weight. So yeah, I guess that's why.
Well.
Yeah, now we know.
Now we know. Hi, little papaya.
Papaya.
I love that.
He is in there going crazy, going stupid. Every time I lay down, I'm like, okay. Also, he's breech.
What is that?
Which means, so like, when a baby is being born, they're supposed to have their head down, right? So the head comes out first. He's feet down right now, so he's just kicking me right in the cervix.
Is that like incredibly painful?
No, I have like pressure in my pelvis. Like I can feel it. It feels like someone kicked me in the gooch or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not crazy. Yeah. And you can like feel where he is now. Like most of my stomach feels normal except for where the baby is. It feels hard. You can feel him in there. It's
really
weird. I had Kenny feel him for the first time last night and he went
That's the first time he's felt the baby.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild to me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I just realized? This is our 10th episode.
Right! 10 episodes, we're in the double digits, baby.
That is insane.
I know. It is.
I love that. What's next? So we've got. I put a lot on the list this week, actually.
Well, while we're doing announcements and updates, we could talk about the podcast movement 2025.
Okay, yeah. So, at the very beginning of this little journey, and Emma's been incredibly good at like kind of reeling me in with some of this, where it's like I will want to be the best at everything, and like I want to be the next like sexy unique podcast, or the next Brav Bros, or the next
Culturistas.
like the next last. Did you watch the Culturistas awards the Culture Awards, by the way?
Yes. Can we talk about that for a second? Did you see the video with her name is escaping me?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yes. Yeah. I always want to say Jamie Lynn Spears, which is not correct.
Not her.
Different Jamie.
Worse Jamie. Well, Jamie Lee Curtis is the better Jamie. Let's establish that.
But that video of her telling them to like rein themselves in at their own fucking award show, who do you fucking think you are?
I think Jamie Lee Curtis is one of the funniest people on God's green earth, and like I'll give her a pass on that. I think she's so funny.
I don't. I think that she's funny most of the time, but I feel like we just saw the real her.
Okay, that's fair.
They're like having their moment and you're telling them they need to bring it down a notch? Fuck you.
Okay.
I really did not appreciate that.
Fair.
At all. Anyway, moving on.
But like, in my mind, I was like, I want to be the next Alex, call her daddy. What is Alex?
Cooper.
Alex Cooper. I want to be the next Alex Cooper. Mm-hmm. And Emma's been like, let's just get really good at like one thing at a time.
Yeah.
And so it's been, let's get really, really good at
being comfortable on a microphone.
Well, that and like the audio and like that of all of it, which is, I think we've come an extremely long way, by the way.
Yeah. There's always room for improvement. I'm talking about myself, not you.
No, I think.
But yeah.
No, I think we've both done incredible. I think you started off much more comfortable than I was, because I was just like, I don't know how to like talk and shit on a microphone.
Oh, I just never given a fuck ever in my life.
But
anyway,
that being said, in the very beginning of all this, I filled out an application to go to the podcast movement conference in Dallas, and they gave both of us free tickets to go. But Emma's got baby August, and then the next day is Jack's birthday and everything, so I'm going to that.
Yeah, I wish I could go.
I think we'll go next year.
It'll be the second week of Jack in first grade, and I would get back like on his birthday. It's just a whole thing. Anyway,
I'm so excited though. I think it's gonna be so cool. If anyone's listening that's gonna be there, let me know. We could guest swap.
Speaking of which, someone commented on our Spotify. You can literally let us know things. Hello.
We got our first comment ever on Spotify, and hang on, I'm gonna go to it and I'm gonna read it. This man's name is Jordan. I haven't forgotten his name.
But we don't know him, right? Like, you don't know him.
I have no idea who this guy is.
Yeah,
but I know that I love him, and I'll kiss him right on the mouth.
I know. I want to send him my life savings. Thank you.
So Jordan, a week ago, commented on one of our episodes on Spotify. He said, everyone needs a Travis and Emma in their life. Love the podcast, guys. Keep it up. And my God, like, I read that and that made my entire day. Like, I can't even tell you. That was the coolest thing.
He could have just said like one word and I still would have been like, ah! but it was so sweet.
It's so nice. Cool. So thank you so much, Jordan. And listen, if anyone on God's green earth is willing to comment on our little podcast, we're going to shout you out. Just know that we are going to shout you out. We're going to embarrass you. We're gonna
say it.
Yeah.
Say whatever you want. I don't even care if it's mean. Say it.
Be mean to us. We love mean people.
Constructive criticism makes the world go round. Hello.
But thank you so much, Jordan. That was really, really, really cool of you. This is the thing is like Emma and I don't think that we're out here like changing lives. We don't think we're doing hard-hitting journalism by any stretch of the imagination. We're two idiots on the internet with microphones because that's what the world needed.
I don't have a bulletproof vest, Mama. We're just talking.
No. And the fact that someone like recognized like this is two friends just talking and that this is entertaining to them, that was really fucking cool. I'm so
Like,
happy
how
about
nice
that.
How nice.
What's next?
Oh,
the Hollister Vintage Collection. Have you seen this on TikTok?
Oh, vaguely. So I looked it up. Are they just like bringing back what they were putting out in 2012? That's
2009 is
me.
where it's really thrown back to. I recognize some of the outfits from when I worked there, and that was really, really, really hard for me to unpack.
I hate that we've lost. Okay, so technically, for something to be vintage, send us an email, comment, tell me if I'm wrong. But I've always been told for something to be vintage, it has to be more than 50 years old. For something to be antique, it has to be more than 100 years old. So we're really stretching what vintage means. And Hollister's not the first one to do this. All the TikTok and fashion girlies who like go thrifting and stuff love to call things vintage from the early 2000s. That's not vintage.
So what you're describing is what vintage used to be, and this comes back to the conversation we had when we were talking about Anna Wintour, where like fast fashion trends don't last for a year anymore, right? Like because it used to go in cycles where it was like. The last time I really remember this happening was probably 2012, 2013, where things moved in cyclical trends. And now it is like something matters for like a week or two or like a month, whatever. And then it's on to the next thing. I think this is the result of that, because what you're describing, the vintage, the antique thing, absolutely used to be a rule. I don't think it's a rule anymore. So
why can we just change the definition of things? I would like some input on that, because we're back to bootcut jeans.
Mama, can I just tell you a secret? I never departed from bootcut jeans. It has always been the Aiden bootcut jean from Buckle. That is the only jean I have worn for probably 15 years.
I do think that bootcut jeans look much better on men than they do on women. You know what I'm talking about with women, where they have...
Yeah, it's Denise Richards is what you're describing. Denise Richards in a pair of bootcut jeans, and I think she is so cunt in them because it reminds me of Jessica Simpson and Britney Spears in like 2005, 2006. I know exactly what you're talking about, but I think a woman looks incredible. Here's the thing. I think a woman and a guy, they all look incredible in whatever the fuck they want to wear. What are you... I think that's cunt. Emma just showed me a picture of a woman in bootcut jeans.
I want everyone to wear exactly what they want to wear. I want everyone to feel comfortable and confident. Maybe it's because I was like 14 wearing bootcut jeans and I just hated myself. But I don't understand. I just don't understand. And maybe it's because I'm so old. I'm pushing 30, and so I'm seeing trends come back from my childhood where I'm like... Ugh.
No, that's how I felt when like they started talking about the Hollister Vintage Collection. I think the problem that I'm having with it is Hollister is the one bringing it back. It's not the girls on TikTok. It is Hollister saying, "I know what we're gonna dip into the archives here from like the applique T-shirts and the like
the Redbird,
the whole thing." And I'm like. I can't be this old. I can't do it. Yeah.
I can't. Sorry. I don't know. And like, are they ever gonna acknowledge how problematic they were in that era? No. Are they ever gonna own up to that?
No, I don't think they will. But what I wish they would bring back, and this is a deep cut for anyone who is, you probably have to be over the age of what I like to pretend is 27, but you have to be over 30 to actually remember this. There was a brand called Rule, and it was, I think they had like maybe 30 stores total, and it was the high-end line from Abercrombie and Fitch, and it was the best clothes. I mean, it was all the same thing. Like Abercrombie, Hollister, and Rule all sold the exact same thing, but they just put a different price tag and a different logo on it. I want them to bring back Rule so fucking bad. Like, that's what I want. If we're gonna bring back anything from 2009, 2010, that's what I want back.
I just feel like we don't have the aesthetic for it anymore. People aren't spraying too much cologne in their stores. I don't know. People aren't, like, starving themselves to be a size 0, which is great, by the way. But, like, why can't we do something new?
Have you seen them bringing back, like, have you seen them talking about, I think it's called vanity sizing, where what they're doing now is, like, they're actually putting 000 on jeans that are like a 2 or a 3. Mm-hmm. Because there was a girl on TikTok, when I, like, looked up Hollister Vintage Collection, she put her 00 jeans from high school next to 00 jeans from, like, today at Hollister. Yeah. And they are not the same size. And I
knew they were doing that, like, intuitively. Like, I could just tell. Because I grew up in that era where, like, I knew what I couldn't fit into. And now I look at some of those sizes and I'm like, like, especially when I got skinny a few years ago, I was wearing, like, a 6. And I was like, I'm not as skinny as I was in high school. Like, someone's lying. I knew.
Wait, so which one? Is it the 2009 jeans that are lying or the jeans today that are lying?
I don't know. I think if we had some kind of... Because here's the other thing, is that girls are expected to wear skin-tight jeans. Because, number one, they look cunty. Let's be so honest.
Oh, yeah.
But number two, misogyny. Whatever.
Okay.
Right? However, it was always, and still is, it was always true that you didn't wear the same size at, like, American Eagle that you did at Hollister, that you did at Abercrombie. Like, there wasn't really, like, a hard and fast measurement where, like, if your hips are this measurement and your waist is this measurement and your inseam is this, then you wear this size. Mm-hmm. It was like, that's true for each brand, but the numbers are different.
Well, it was true for guys, though. That was the fucked up part.
Yeah.
Like, which is... I was always a 30 Abercrombie Hollister anywhere I went.
Because it means 30 inches.
Right.
Right. That's not true for women.
That is so fucked up, though, because, like... Yeah. And now looking back on it, I very vividly remember, like, these girls coming into the fitting rooms at Abercrombie at Circle Center Mall being so excited that they could finally fit into a 00. Mm-hmm. And Jesus Christ, now that I'm saying that out loud, I'm like, oh, we were the problem.
100%. And so it's always been true that, like, you're a different size for different brands. Speaking only for women, obviously. You're a different size for different brands because the measurements aren't, like, a hard and fast rule. And so they can go in and change that whenever they want. And I think a lot of people have done the vanity sizing thing where they've changed the hip circumference and waist circumference to be a little bit bigger for each size so that you can fit in a 00 or a 0 or a 2 or whatever.
See, that's where I'm conflicted. And you know who I would really like to have on to talk about this is the people that host It's About Bravo, because they are stylists and they work in fashion. And they've styled some of the Real Housewives for reunions before. I'm like, I would like to unpack this a little bit because, like, I don't know if I feel good that, like, oh, you're like not making someone feel like ashamed for not being a 00 and you're still calling it a 00, or are we saying, like, oh, you can only be good enough if you're a 00? I don't know where I fall on that.
I think we should change the measurements in general. Because here's the thing. If it were like how it is for men and we were just saying our waist size and our inseam, it would make shopping so much easier. It would make things easier to buy online. It would make everything a lot easier if we would just change to that, but we won't.
Well, the Buckle does that. The Buckle, like, you go in and because I've gone in with Bailey before and she's like, I mean, Bailey, like, has never had a problem in her life. She's always been
Skinny
and beautiful
Yeah.
and, like, the prettiest of all six of... Bailey's my cousin, and she's always been the prettiest of the 6 grandkids, and we all hate her. But, like,
Yeah.
not really. I love her to death, but, like, she's never been ugly a day in her life. So she goes in and she's like, yeah, I'm a 26. And I'm like,
Yeah, it must be
off.
nice. They do have that some places, but it's not the rule. It's the exception for sure. You know who we should have on the podcast to talk about this too?
Who?
Stacey London. I would like to pick her brain.
I love Stacey London.
Me too.
I think she's so cool.
Yeah, and I would like to know what she has to say about sizing. Because even back when What Not to Wear was on television, in the height of the ED epidemic and all of that, she always said, she was like very empowering now that I think about it. She was always like, you need clothes that fit you.
Yeah.
If you get clothes that are too small, you are not accomplishing what you think you're accomplishing.
Right.
You need to just get the size that fits you.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to pick her brain. Stacey London.
Stacey London, if you're listening, if anyone knows Stacey London, please bring her on Bestie Approved. Stacey London, you are Bestie Approved.
100%.
What else? What else is on the list?
We have the man who is lonely of his own accord because
Jesus
he
Christ.
thinks women shouldn't subscribe to the Me Too movement.
So this little boy gets up on TikTok and he goes, fellas, if you know a girl that is in the Me Too movement or is empowered or like whatever,
Is a feminist at all.
Yes. Make sure you friend zone her. Make sure that you don't get in a relationship with her. Basically saying you need a woman to be subservient to you and to follow you and to never speak out of turn. And Jesus Christ in heaven.
It is conflicting to me, to be honest with you. Not the point that he's making. Obviously, he's a garbage man. But I'm conflicted on it because part of me is like, yeah, if you think that way, you should leave women the fuck alone. Like, I want you to friend zone every woman because I don't think they should want to be with you.
That.
But also, like, I'm sure that's the same type of guy who's like, male loneliness epidemic, mid women think they can get hot guys now. Like, it's because you think this way. Shut up.
Here's what I want to explain to everyone. Like, if you are in a relationship that works for you, like one of my cousins is like this, where she's doing the trad wife thing and she is not into feminism, and that's hard for me, but like I can't tell anyone else how to be.
No.
Whatever. Like,
You feel what you feel and your feelings are real.
And don't push your feelings on other people is the biggest point. But for someone to be so comfortable getting on the internet and saying with their whole chest, no, women shouldn't be feminists and they should all be friends. Okay, then you know what? More for the guys that are not assholes. More for guys like Thor and Bradley who are intimidated by a strong woman. Like, go fuck yourself, dude. Like, Jesus God. Like, it is this like toxic masculinity thing where I'm just like, yeah, men don't deserve rights. Like, let's just cut it off, guys.
And part of me wants to like not correct them because like if you feel that way and you think that way, then yes, please stay the fuck out of women's way. Like, please don't bother them.
Right.
Like, if you hate them so much, I kind of want you to continue to hate them.
Well, and that's the thing is, like, do you actually hate women? Like, because that's all it can be in my mind. You hate women.
100%. That's what it is. I think it's also, like, it's sort of like a prejudice thing where, like, they're not even willing to recognize their own prejudice and, like, work through that. They just think they're correct. It's a lot of my feelings are facts.
It's that, and do you want to know what else I think a big part of it is? The church.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because growing up in the Nazarene church, women are told they are
You need to get yourself a man.
Well, it's you're told you need to find a man. You're told you need to find a husband. You're told that, like, you know, your only value in life is that of being a mother, of being a wife, of being the keeper of a home. And if that's the life you want to live, I won't tell anyone they shouldn't live that. But I have a problem with indoctrinating entire groups of women, and then furthermore entire groups of men into believing that that is a woman's place in the world. 100%. I think that's so sick.
I think the rhetoric, like, the message isn't I mean, whatever. If it's not for you, it's not for you. If it's for you, then it's for you. But the rhetoric of how they explain themselves is troublesome to me, because the one that rings in my mind is them saying, well, even if you do have this big wig job and a successful career and a social life to be proud of and all of this, still the most important thing you'll ever do is be a mother.
Shut the fuck up.
I've heard that so many times, and it's like, come on. Like, is raising children important? Yes. We are seeing the repercussions as to why, because you have fuckers like this on TikTok. If your 16-year-old starts talking like this guy is talking on TikTok, you need to sit him down and say, hey, you don't think that way about women. He was never corrected by his parents. And so, yes, motherhood is important in that sense, where you need to be involved with your kids and you need to teach them what the ways is of correct.
The world. Yeah.
However, I think if you're a CEO and you hire a nanny, that does not make you a failure as a woman.
No.
Like, what?
Do you know who's actually really, really good at talking about this? Jennifer and Angie from I've Had It. They are very, very good at explaining this stuff to their kids. Like, because I think they both only have son. I'm pretty sure they only have sons. I could be completely wrong, but I know that both of them have sons, and they're like, you will not act like this. Just know that.
Right. And so I guess the point I'm making is that motherhood is important in that sense of, like, you are responsible for raising children who become adults with empathy and compassion and can understand people from different walks of life and all of that. Yes.
Right.
Is it the most important thing you'll ever do? Not necessarily.
But if it is for you, there's nothing wrong with it. But I think the problem with that, the idea around the most important thing a woman can do is be a mother, then, like, what are you going to do with all, like, the women out there that can't have kids? What are you going to do with...
It's devastating to them.
Right.
Well, I had a similar experience when I was breastfeeding. Like, so Jack is 2 weeks old. His dad gets in a car accident. I'm stressed out. My body is responding to that. And I, like, stopped producing enough milk to feed Jack. So, like, we had to switch to formula.
Right.
And I beat myself up because I was like, you're built to do that. You are literally built to nourish a baby, blah, 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 blah. That is insane. Like, that is the most insane way to think. And I think most women think that way to some extent.
I think that's so fucked up.
It's sad.
Yeah.
Because, like, what is a man doing?
I'm trying to think. I'm a man and I don't know what we're doing.
I'm saying, like, a man's not ever going to beat himself up for being infertile. He's going to be like, oh, man, darn it. But he's not going to, like, cry over it for 2 weeks.
Oh, man.
He's not going to, like, you know what I mean? It's just, like, the onus is so on women. And we just let men go golf or whatever. I don't understand it.
Oh, God.
We need to do better.
Do you have anything to complain about today?
Yeah.
Oh. You go first, because I just saw what's on your list.
I'm going to start this off by saying congratulations to Trisha Paytas on your third child. I think that's beautiful.
Also, thank you for bringing Ozzy Osbourne back into the world, apparently.
Yeah. Listen. From what I've seen, which is not a lot because I will not watch Trisha Paytas, I'm about to get into it. She seems like an excellent mother.
Oh yeah, I think she's probably an incredible mother, and like
100%.
she's a completely different personality than she is online. I'll give her that probably.
100%. I think her daughters and now her son are in very good hands. However, the way the internet is willing to just forget everything she did up to this point and give her millions of millions and millions of views and likes and dollars is dumbfounding to me. What is going... Have we forgotten how problematic this woman is? Like, wow.
So it's funny that you bring Trisha Paytas up because Brittany, the girl that I went to the Kesha concert with, really loves Trisha Paytas.
My first question whenever I hear someone really loves Trisha Paytas is, are you aware of all the things she has done and said?
I'm not. I'm going to be super real with you. I don't know what
I don't even really want to get into it, but she's had a very problematic past. And most recently, being affiliated with Ethan Klein in the H3 podcast.
That's the one that she like quit in the middle of, though, right?
Yes.
I don't know if I know who Ethan Klein is, though. I'm going to be super real with you.
So Ethan Klein is a Zionist.
Oh, he's the guy that's always fighting with Hassan Piker.
Yeah, his wife was in the IDF, all of that.
He's straight.
Isn't that shocking? I know.
Oh.
And they have the color blocked clothing that's super ugly and all of that. Yeah, that's Ethan Klein.
I was under the impression that Trisha Paytas had a podcast with a gay man. I did not know.
No, he's straight. He's just... And by the way, on their podcast, I can't believe I'm defending Trisha Paytas while I'm complaining about her, but he was mean to her.
I remember seeing clips on TikTok where she would start crying, and I was like, I swear to God, I thought it was all an act, and like I thought it was like they turned the mics off and it was like you and me. I swear to God, that's what I thought it was.
Her thing has always been, and maybe this is why she's rubbed me the wrong way, and so like all of the problematic shit that she's done just like lives rent free in my brain. She leans into being stupid, like a dumb blonde.
I think that's where I have a hard time with her, because I'm like, I know you're not this dumb. I know you are not dumb.
Be.
No.
And if you are, get off the internet. Like, she just has very much rubbed me the wrong way. I really don't like when women lean into just being stupid.
Well,
there are ways. Listen, I'm a little stupid.
No. I was gonna say we know someone who, that we used to work with, that her entire personality was pink.
But it's like the baby voice of it all.
Yes, I hate
all of that.
Oh my God, now that you're saying this out loud, that person and Trisha Paytas are incredibly similar.
Yeah, they kind of are. Okay, so like one problematic thing she's done that's not very polarizing, it's just like weird. She pretended to be John Benet Ramsey, the little girl who was murdered.
What?
Yeah, she like made a video pretending to be her. It was very weird.
Did people believe it?
No. Like she pretended to be her and then pretended to like get beat up by her dad or something like that. It was so weird. It's so weird. And this is like at least 10 years ago. But yeah. It's been weird from the start, and she was married at one point to, or not married, but like seriously dating Jason Nash, who's like affiliated with David Dobrik, and that's a whole thing. And like I don't know. Her fans, I feel like, just come out of the woodwork, and I don't know. Like, if you like it, I guess go for it. But I feel like a lot of people, because I see lots of people like younger than me being fans of Trisha Paytas, and I'm like, do you know what you're even subscribing to? Like, are you even aware of what you're affiliating yourself with? That's just how I feel. Anyway, done complaining about Trisha. Again, congratulations on your son. I'm sure you're a wonderful mother. I'm more complaining that the public's perception of you does not feel accurate.
Do you
Anyway.
think people actually believe that Trisha Paytas's like babies are the second comings of like whoever these people like? Because it was the Pope, it was Queen Elizabeth, and now it's Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
And they're saying because, and listen, the baby's name is Aquaman.
I wasn't even gonna say anything about the name. I'll let you have that one, Trisha. Honestly, it would have almost been better if, like, the first name was Aqua, and then you gave him 2 middle names, and the first one was Man.
I think Aqua's a really cool first name, if I'm being honest.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
I would have liked that a lot better.
Anyway, okay, so there's that. There is that. I'm complaining today, ladies and gentlemen, about the Heritage Foundation.
Ugh.
So... And I eventually want to do a research, or let's research mama on these fucks, but I saw on TikTok the Heritage Foundation had been sharing out in their, I don't know if it was their newsletter or whatever, it was something that just popped up on my TikTok where they're saying, here are 5 ways to woke-proof your estate plan.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to know what these 5 woke-proof ways are. Mm-hmm. So if you Google it, it takes you to, like, it's not a paywall, but it's a thing where you have to subscribe to it. I had to create a burner email just to, like, get my hands on this thing.
I've talked about how people are using the word woke now already. I'm already, like, angry.
Are you reading it?
Yeah. I mean, I've already read it before today, but I'm like... The way people are using woke is so backwards to how the term was, like, initiated.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it's like just a buzzword.
It is. That's all it is. But the woke-proof ways are basically, like, and I'm not even going to open the little booklet they send out, but basically from what I did read, it was... find the most racist lawyer you can find, basically, who is down with you being a racist. And wouldn't you know it, another one of the ways is to donate to the Heritage Foundation.
Yeah, keep the donor in a donor advised fund is what it says.
Like, go fuck yourself.
And if you don't know how those work, that's money you're not getting back. You have to donate that money, mama.
Yes.
You have to donate that money.
Yes.
So, like,
and when you
they're
die,
saying, you know what's woke? Not getting your inheritance.
Well, the donor advised fund thing, like,
as part of an estate plan, I get it.
Sure.
But it's like, it should be last on your list, right? Like, if you're me,
it should be the very last thing that your money goes into. It's like, if you have nowhere else to leave your money,
then of course donate it.
Yes.
But, like, shouldn't you make sure your children and people you loved are taken care of first?
No, not according to the Heritage Foundation.
No.
But this is the fucked up thing is, what do you think people are using inheritances for? Because I did digging on this. I went and I, like, actually did a little bit of Let's Research Mama, and I found a subreddit, and the subreddit pointed me to
finance,
middle class finance, where people talked about what they used inheritances for. And let me just tell you, when we're talking about inheritance, people are not receiving millions and millions and millions of dollars in inheritances. That's
not the average person. No,
it is so rare that that's happening.
Right, we're not the Rothschilds.
No, but you had, like, and so just a couple of examples. One user said he used $250 from his inheritance to buy a puppy that turned into 16 years of companionship. One user said, I received about $20,000 from my grandmother, and it was the buffer that I needed to purchase a house. A lot of people said they cleared up debt. Several comments mentioned saving for college and investing for, like, rainy days or whatever. And then some said, I got nothing. And it motivated me to be self-made.
Yeah.
Yes. And the fucked up thing is, like, you are so obsessed, Heritage Foundation, with this idea that America needs to be straight white men with wives that are in the kitchen barefoot with a baby on their hip. And that is your ideal vision of the United States and furthermore, probably the world. And you are willing to say to these people that actually subscribe to some of your beliefs or all of them, whatever, you need to, after you die, after you are dead in the ground, your legacy needs to be as rotten as it can be, and to say, go fuck yourself to the kids that did not get on board with your fucking vision of the world. And you can go fuck yourself for that. Like, that pisses me off.
100%. So, a big lesson I learned from our time in finance is that you should never rely on an inheritance, right?
Never.
You should never rely on, oh, well, my grandpa's going to die one day and I'm going to get $1 million. You should never rely on that. However, that doesn't mean that you should go about your life waiting to screw over your own family.
Right.
That's not what that means. While I say that out loud, you shouldn't be reliant on an inheritance. However, no one's taking advantage of an inheritance. That's something you have a right to. It's not a privilege. It's a right. It was written down, intended for you.
Right.
You can't take advantage of that. So even if you get grandma's money and you decide to go to Bora Bora and have yourself a time, that's fine.
Right.
You're not taking advantage of your grandma.
Well, and this is the other thing too. So you're actually, I don't know if you are aware of this. If God forbid something happens to me, you, Jackie, and my brother get everything. It's divided up 3 ways between the 3 of you guys. Like, that's just how it's written in my will. And if God forbid anything happens to Zachary before I'm gone, my niece and nephew get Zachary's share of everything.
Yeah.
And let me just go on record right now and say, I don't give a fuck what you do with the money. It's not my money anymore.
I don't think anyone should.
Yeah.
Like, okay, the house that we're recording in right now is in Jack's name.
Right.
If he turns 21 or whatever the age is where it turns completely into his, and he decides to sell it so that he can fund some independently made movie or something that crashes and burns, that is none of my business.
I'll go watch the movie.
It's so weird. Like, I don't know when we got to this age of giving people gifts or inheritances.
With strings attached.
You don't get to say, oh, I got you this cool toy. You can only play with it like this. Like, that's so weird. That's so weird.
Right. And that's literally what the Heritage Foundation is encouraging people to do. It's saying, no, we'd rather you give money to us rather than giving money to your kids because you don't know what woke things they're going to use it for. Well, tell me what woke thing you're worried about. Are you worried that they're going to use the money to donate to Zohran Mamdani's election fund? Or,
by the way, with the donor advised fund, you could if you wanted to.
You should.
Yeah.
I love that.
I don't know. They're worried the kids are going to get the money and transition into their real selves or lead happier lives in general.
The fact that they are so obsessed with being so afraid of the world, it makes no fucking sense to me. Like, these people are literally the authors of Project 2025 that want to send America back to a place where people of color can't drink from the same water fountains as us. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like,
what is happening?
Why are you so obsessed with the way people live their lives?
Because those white men don't feel like they are winning anymore. Is the answer. But I don't understand why they feel like they need to win or why they can't find their wins within their own lives. They need it handed to them.
But that's the thing is, I don't like, and we've talked about this before, I don't like this idea that life is a zero-sum game.
Yeah.
And if I'm successful, you can't be. And if you're successful, I can't be. That makes no fucking sense to me, because the whole idea of the American dream, like what it was all founded on, is if you show up and you work hard and you do the right thing, everything's going to work out. Are you ready for a reality roundup?
I am.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we're talking about the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives reunion.
So we open with a prayer led by Zach, and then the girls all start showing up. Whitney's lost a ton of weight.
Yeah, I think she looks amazing.
She looks incredible. Like, she looks so good.
She really does. I don't know how some people snap back like that. That's amazing.
Yeah, she looks incredible. Like, I guess it has been a significant amount of time since filming, but like, she looks amazing.
Yeah.
We find out that it was Dakota's first time wearing a suit, and I was not shocked to hear that in the least. Of course it is Dakota. God, that's just great. And he was wearing a full-blown three-piece, like...
Yeah, he did not look comfortable.
No.
He looked like if you put a suit on a pillow.
Whitney FaceTimes Demi. We find out that Demi's not going to the reunion because she's going to Disneyland.
Shocking, shocking, shocking. I don't buy for a second this whole story that they try to spin where she says she already had a family vacation planned out.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. You knew you were going to be torn to shreds, and you are just holding on to that spot by the skin of your teeth.
Mm-hmm. Listen, we'll get into it. We will get into this. So, the next thing. What I'm about to say, I have found is a little bit controversial. Nick Viall's the one hosting, and I personally loved the choice because I think Nick does a really good job on his podcast, and I also think he is cute. And
he's hot.
Yeah.
I do think you could tell it was his first time hosting something like that, though.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Like, I mean, he's not Andy Cohen. Like...
No, but I think one day he could be, you know.
Sure.
Like, if he kept in this kind of circuit and did more things like this, I can see him, like, really blowing up.
Yes.
Because he's hot, and he's funny,
so
and he's
hot.
cute. And he also, like, was very no bullshit. He was like, the question that was asked was this.
Well, that, and I think he does a very good job on his podcast of doing that, of, like, he does hold people to the fire. Like, well, when we start recapping Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, we'll get into him with Monica Garcia, because that was a wild ride of an interview. But
yeah,
now
I
that
like him. What's the controversy, if you don't
people don't like him.
For what?
Because they say he is a fan, he like favors some of the girls, and like now that I've watched it a couple of times, I don't think he liked Whitney.
No.
I think he was a little harder on Whitney than she deserved. Not that she deserved. I think that he was not objective about it. I will say that. What
Can
they said
I just
is valid.
say Andy Cohen does the exact same thing?
Oh, Andy Cohen is horrifically worse about it, I would argue. Because
right? He's not objective ever.
No, because he likes Giselle, he likes Bethany Frankel, he likes... He loves Nene Leakes, and those people do not get held to the fire when they deserve to be.
No, and here's the thing: I don't think like I get why some people are like calling him a fan and saying that in sort of a derogatory way. I think there's no one else I'd rather see host a reunion than someone who's watched the show and likes it.
Oh,
and is passionate about it. You know what I mean?
Did you ever watch the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion where Nicki Minaj came on for part of the reunion? That's what I want. If Andy Cohen's not going to host it, I want someone who watches it, who has a good time watching it, who's going to kiki with them. That's what I want.
And you can't watch a reality show like these, like Mormon Wives or Housewives or any of them without having opinions. That's kind of the whole point.
I agree.
So anyway, I liked Nick Viall.
I did too. I really liked him. But something I did pick up on almost immediately, they edited in a lot of his audio, like where they cut away from him and then like you can hear that it just sounds a little bit different.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I don't know how many times Hulu has done a reunion like that. Do they have another reality show that would do
They
a
have
reunion
they
like
have
that?
Vanderpump Villa, and I think they had a reunion.
Oh, okay. But that's like one.
Yeah, I don't know. And
think
they
they're
did the
getting the hang of it.
Kardashians, but like,
But that's like
whatever.
That's
yeah.
their family, you know. They came into that with a script, like
Right.
Whatever.
And then Jen and Zach are backstage for probably the first half of the reunion.
Yeah.
And something that genuinely upset me was the child's voice that Jen was putting on the entire time they were talking.
Yeah, I felt like she was really trying to like portray a character.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think she was just like, I don't know. I think she knew she caught a lot of heat this season, and so she was just trying to be not objective, but like just likable. You know what I mean?
I think she was trying to do the cutesy, like, oh, I'm a fan too. Oh, I can't believe she did that. But like, it was the voice behind it that, because I was like, that's not your voice. That's not how you talk. We've heard you talk for 2 years. This is not how you talk. And that it was. Yeah. Did you ever watch RuPaul's Drag Race?
Yeah.
Do you remember the Bianca Del Rio season with like Adore Delano and where there was an Untucked where Adore Delano was fighting with Laganja Estranja, and she goes, "This is not how you talk," and like, look, and Adore was bothered about that. Like, that's how I felt.
Yeah, I don't know. I think she's just like, I don't know. She seems like she's very uncomfortable in herself.
Yeah,
and that's what is so bothersome. It's own it.
We unpack a little bit of the Marciano meetup, and we start literally where we left off with the conversation between Marciano and Layla, and the girls kind of recap what happened in Italy and how Demi was really flirty with Marciano, which, by the way, I would have been as flirty as the day is long with that man.
I love a hot alcoholic. Yeah.
Jesse pulls out screenshots from text conversations between Demi and Marciano where she's comparing oysters to swallowing cum. And I was like...
It was obviously flirty, but also, Demi, you're a weirdo.
It was weird. And, God, I don't know. But we cut to Jen and Zach where he has to explain that the clam emoji might mean a vagina. And Jen's reaction made me wish she was still at home in the bed. Oh, my God. Like, shut the fuck up.
Like, I don't know. It's so weird because aren't you the one that was being threatened with a cease and desist about talking about what happened, and now it's like you don't have a story at all? Like, you're just being shocked.
That was Jen, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that.
What? It was very, like, confusing the way she was acting.
Yes. And then this whole conversation turns into revisiting how Demi is a little demon monster, and Whitney starts to defend her, of course, because I think we'll get into it.
I think the problem is that she told Demi on that FaceTime call where Demi was like going to Disney World or Disneyland or whatever, and was like, no, I'll stand up for you at the reunion, but like some things I think you'll just have to say. I think she messed up by telling Demi, I'll stand up for you at the reunion, and she knows that if she didn't say anything, Demi would have her head.
I think she should have taken the Layla approach where Layla took with Taylor where she says, yeah, I'll stand up for you, and then just starts disassociating.
I don't think Demi would respond like Taylor. I think Demi would like air everything Whitney has ever done out.
Demi would make Whitney's life a living.
That's what
100%,
I'm
yes.
But I think she kind of trapped herself into having to defend Demi, which she shouldn't have done. You shouldn't have even called her. I don't know why you're friends with her. Anyway.
No. Nick calls out that Jessie isn't wearing her wedding ring, and she talks about how she and Jordan are working through a lot of hard things right now. And so here's the thing. I don't like this very specific plot point right here because Nick goes, did you and Marciano have sex? Jessie says that everything gets unpacked in season 3 and it's not what everyone thinks. That is not what a reunion is for. You shouldn't have said 100%. A fucking word about it.
Hulu is weird for that. I think it's on Hulu. honestly, because never in a Housewives reunion, never when I've seen the Kardashians have a reunion, never ever on any other reality show has the answer ever been, I can't talk about that because it's in the next season.
It has on one reunion, and I will tell you, this is why Bravo redid entirely the way they started filming Housewives. Was in New Jersey. I think it was season 2 or season 3. It was season 2, like going into season 3, because they were doing the reunion and they had already started filming season 3 during the season 2 reunion, and
that's a problem.
Yes,
you need to fix that.
And they like Teresa and I think Caroline were all talking about like, oh, we can't talk about that because it's in season 3, and like the producers were like, never again. Like, and so that is a crock of bullshit. But also, I don't like the way they did this. Where like, did they think they weren't going to get picked back up? And like, I don't like.
I didn't like it
that.
at all, and I can understand the perspective of like, well, we don't want to miss anything story-wise, and so we're just going to keep filming for season 3. But, like, that's just not how it works on TV, mama. You are going to miss some stuff that gets aired out at the reunion, and that's what people tune into fucking reunions for.
Well, it's that, and it's also... It's weird to me, because they've taken producers from Bravo. Like, Bravo producers left Bravo to come to Hulu to produce Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. They know how this works.
So why do they do that?
But also ostensibly the entire 3rd season's already been filmed because it's in the can because they had previews of it at the end of the episode. So I guess I don't understand what they're saving. I don't know. Like I'm interested to see what happens, but like if it turns out to be one of these things where it's not that interesting, I will be pissed off. What I do believe is that Jesse probably went a little too far when it came to flirting with Marciano. I don't believe they hooked up.
I think they made out.
Maybe.
I believe that they, like that rumor that they were going out to bars and people saw them making out. Mm-hmm. I think that happened.
That probably happened. I'll buy that. And I think that Jordan probably, and rightfully so, I think Jordan probably had a hard time with that. And
I mean, yeah, you're married.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And I think that's kind of what they're unpacking. I don't think that any of this is being put on for show, but I do believe that I do believe that Demi conspired with Marciano. Because let me tell you something about Marciano. Yeah. That is a little boy that is Jax Taylor made over. That is a little boy who wants to be on TV.
Oh, yeah. He will follow directions from anybody. Mm-hmm. I believe if you bat your eyelashes at Marciano and say, you need to go make out with Jesse, he will do that.
Mm-hmm. We jump into some of the fights that we had over the season, and then Taylor dives into mom talk and how it started and how it's evolved, and this kind of evolves into Taylor revisiting the swinger scandal and going public with all of it.
When are we gonna drop that? By the way, I'm so tired of hearing about it. We're never gonna get the full truth from any side of the situation. Everybody swears they've already given us the full truth. Let's move on.
Well, and that was like the founding thing of what got you on TV, sure, but like
we're 2 seasons in now.
Yeah, like
drop it.
Yeah, I agree.
Ugh.
Because it would be like making the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City all about Jen Shaw getting arrested. Like that's
right. Like if they never would have let it go.
Right. But to be fair, I do think that they didn't have a reunion for season 1, so I think this is kind of the reunion for season 1 and 2, where like it's like, how did we get here? So I just don't need to hear about the swinging thing anymore.
Yeah, we're not gonna. You're just like using the same words over and over in a different order.
Right. But I guess Whitney was the first one to ask to hear Taylor's side of the story, and I think that because of that, Taylor will always feel like some level of loyalty or like have a soft spot for Whitney because of that.
I just don't think that earns you a lifetime of loyalty, but maybe that's just
I think
me.
That's something I appreciate about Taylor, where like
Yeah.
She's good to the people that were good to her.
She is good at remembering the good and not just the bad in
Yes.
people, which I respect. But like, I don't know. I thought the whole thing was kind of. It happened years ago now, like 4 years ago. So it's
more than that. It was like 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's say 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It's like Whitney has been such a monster since then that like. I don't know. Maybe I just have like short-term, long-term memory loss and I wouldn't feel that way. But like, I don't know. I think they should be over all of it, but that's just me.
They talk a little bit about the Mormon community not welcoming mom talk. And this one I thought was wild, but I guess there was pushback from the community about the girls wearing tank tops because they couldn't wear their temple garments under that. And I was like, that's what you care about?
Well, it's just evidence that they're not wearing their garments, right? Because if they were, you would see them under a tank top. So it's like, I don't know. I think it's very like, well, how Mormon are you? And I think every religion has that to some degree.
Well, we'll dive into that one day. But that was insane to me that like that's what you're focusing on.
I mean, because I think their whole thing is like proving that they're not the wives, right? The people on the show, Mom Talk, that they're not like really Mormon.
Or they're redefining what it is to be Mormon, yeah.
Right. So like,
maybe, yeah. I don't know, but I was just like, Jesus Christ, like an organized religion is. But I also think it like part of that comes back to like my thing with religion, and I'm just like, oh my God, you're obsessed with what underwear people are wearing. Like that's insane to me.
Well, I mean, garments go like over. It's like a cap sleeve.
It's like a thing you wear under your clothes, like
right?
The undergarment or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just like, shut up.
I know. Well, I don't know. I have a hard time with it because how is that different from like a hijab, which I would never say like, oh, you shouldn't like. I don't know.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like as a not religious person who didn't grow up in the church, I feel very conflicted about all of it. I don't know.
That's fair. Yeah, I guess like in my mind those two things are not the same thing, but like
no.
I mean, comparatively.
Well, they do different things, right? Like the Mormon garments go under your clothes, and so it's almost like, what are you trying to prove? And whereas like a hijab, they're like women shouldn't show their hair. Mm-hmm. So they're doing two different things.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I just never thought about it that way.
I don't know. I think the whole thing is very weird. I think it's weird that anyone has to prove their religion to other people in the religion at all.
Oh, 100%.
I think it's strange.
Don't get me started on that because I will never shut up about it. The girls laugh about how like cringy it was at the very beginning, and like so they talk about how they can't even go back and watch some of the videos.
I feel like all of TikTok was so cringy at that time.
Oh yeah, I think part of it still is.
Oh, for sure. I mean, there are still people like dancing in the rain and doing all kinds of weird shit. So
but like,
to be cringe is to be free.
Yeah, I'm like, if you want to go out and dance, go out and fucking dance, man. I don't care. Like, we're two idiots on the microphone being idiots. Like,
yeah, what?
Like, do you want to? I have not. We recorded an episode in the very, very, very beginning of this that never saw the light of day, and I can't go back and listen to that because I'm just like.
It is different when it's yourself.
Yeah, so
for
like,
sure. But
so
it's like
I'm like, be cringy. Like you're like.
I think everyone should be cringe.
Everyone
I think
has
the realist version of everyone is a little bit cringy.
Oh yeah, but like I will say, they're braver than we were because they put it out on the internet. Like
100%.
That episode 0001 is never seeing the light of day.
Right, right. Well, I remember the old videos of Taylor saying she was 50 years old. I'm sure she's embarrassed about that now.
I think I totally forgot about that.
I don't know if she Taylor doesn't have that much shame, which I love about her, by the way.
Oh, I love it.
She's very shameless. I don't know that she would be embarrassed about that, but I remember, the North remembers.
Layla talks about how this whole thing became real for her when she got her first big check from a brand deal because, and I guess I never considered this about Layla or any of the girls on the show, because when you think about people coming on to these shows, you think of them coming from a place of wealth already. But she talks about how she was a struggling mom and she literally had to pick between her kids eating or her eating. And she always picked her kids to eat.
Obviously, yeah.
But it reminds me a lot of, and she's a problematic individual now, but J.K. Rowling, when she did her first interview on Oprah, and she talked about how, because Oprah said, how did you know when you were wealthy? And she said, I think she said something like, I was at the store and I was picking between chocolate milk and white milk for my kids, and I realized I didn't have to choose. And like, yeah, say what you will about the individual, and there's room for criticism for J.K. Rowling for everything that she's done, but I think that is a very cool thing to get to that point and be able to provide for your kids. I think that's incredible. So like, I thought that was really fucking cool for Layla, where she talked about like struggling in a world that's so hard to struggle in, and she made it. I think it's really fucking cool.
We'll have to talk about that one day, about how it's a humiliation ritual to struggle in today's world. Instead of people wanting to pick you up, they want to laugh at you.
And then we find out Layla finally had an orgasm with her vibrator. And I think it's so weird to say this out loud, but I'm so happy for her. I'm so happy that she finally made it happen, and I love that for her.
Well, like, aside from the orgasm itself, I think she's like coming into her own a little bit. She seems a little more
growing into herself, you mean?
And comfortable. Yeah.
So proud of her for that.
She's like, yeah. I don't know. I think it's like, it shows that she's like letting herself live a little more.
Yeah. I think that's a really good way to put it. And on the note of the vibrator thing, Nick says that all men need to learn that every Batman needs a Robin, and I feel like
he's sexy for that.
Yeah, and I was like, that's like, it takes a guy that's like secure as fuck to say that. Like, that's really cool.
100%. Do you know how many? 'Cause he's straight, right?
Yeah. Which I hate, but like,
straight guys are like, I don't want to see that anywhere. You don't need that if you got me.
Shut up.
Type of thing.
Shut up.
Like, come on.
Shut up.
So yeah, he's hot for that.
And then, dear listener, full disclosure, this is where the notes start to get a little, I think I was like, I was falling asleep or something when I was watching this. So like the notes just kind of cut off. But we get into Whitney's journey back into mom talk. So Nick asked Michaela why she hates Whitney so much, and Michaela says that she doesn't hate Whitney. And I remember thinking that was literally your only storyline this season. Like, I don't remember her talking about anything other than her like getting pregnant, but I don't remember her talking about anything else but hating Whitney and how she doesn't think she deserves to be back in the group. And this, like, it was wild to me.
Yeah, I don't know why she said that. I mean, maybe because like hate is a very strong word. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
But one thing I will give Michaela, she does say that Whitney has a hard time seeing when she's the problem. And I do think that is true.
Yeah.
I think if she had led with that from the beginning, I think we'd be in a very different place. But what I will say about Michaela, like, given the entire season and given like everything about her, I don't think I dislike Michaela as much as I thought I did. I had a hard time with her this season, but I came a long way with her. I like her now.
I like her. I just, as much as she can point out that Whitney doesn't realize when she's the problem, Michaela doesn't realize when she's the drama either. Mm-hmm. But that's fine.
But they talk about when they were all in Scottsdale and Whitney was like, in that confessional going, ooh, let's shift focus for me and turn to the drama where it's between Demi and Jen and like whatever. And I guess like I don't know how we made the jump. Well, I can see from Whitney's perspective. Whitney calls Michaela a bully. And
I'm sorry, but it's so the pot calling the kettle black.
Yeah, I'm just like,
Come on.
babe, we've all done a little bit of bullying in our lives. Like, maybe.
And you just did it last season on this fucking show.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
So.
Whatever.
And then, so, like, that is fully, like, where my notes leave off. I will say a couple of other things that I do vividly recall from the reunion. When Connor came on.
Oh. There's so much before that.
Oh, well then, okay, you get into your part. Because I want to talk about the Connor thing, because I thought, like...
Yeah, it was very heartwarming.
Go on to your thing.
So after that is when we get our half-assed clip from Demi.
Oh, where she's...
Yeah.
Okay. 'Cause she did the interview with Nick Viall.
Right.
Okay,
she does her little interview, and she's talking about... she's not there because she already planned a Disneyland trip, which again I think is bullshit. She says she knows that everyone's gonna think she's running away from something, but I swear I'm not.
Can I tell you something that I do know about these productions?
Mm-hmm.
These are all filmed on a soundstage.
Yeah.
They're booked months in advance. You have call sheets, you have production schedules, you have entire groups of people where their only job is the logistics of making this reunion happen.
100%.
And you're going to tell me
they somehow didn't find out about
I had no idea when this was happening, and we just happened to have a Disneyland trip planned on the same day. You are a liar.
Yeah. So then she goes on to double down on calling Jen's crying apology video to the group calculated and disingenuous,
Jesus
and it was
Christ.
suspect timing and all of that. She also says in that interview that Jen got pregnant, and that seemed to be a turning point for her and almost a reason to remove herself from mom talk.
No.
Girl, you called her out for being a liar. Did you forget that?
Far be it from me to ever be on Jen's side about anything this season. Like, because if Jen has zero haters on this earth based on this season, I am dead.
Right.
That being said, we saw, and I can objectively say, we saw a woman who was broken. She was, granted, was part of that probably her own fault? Yes.
Yeah, leading up to before she found out she was pregnant, she had been sneaky and lying.
Yes.
And all of that. But she was in a dark place, and she found it within herself to apologize to you. And the way Demi cannot accept an apology from anyone for anything really rubs me the wrong way.
And that's exactly where I was going with it, was you genuinely just cannot accept someone and meet them where they're at. Because I think what I will give Jen is that when she did the apology and she said, I think that I've been doing a lot of work on myself and I've realized that I am not in a good space right now, and I think that's why I've hurt other people, she started to get a pass from me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
From then on, it's not really that interesting. It's Zach defending himself and saying, but I felt like he really kept his composure for it. Zach is Jen's husband, for those of you who are not following along. The weird little blonde one. He really kept his composure, and he was like, obviously Demi and Brett have different boundaries in their marriage than Jen and I do. That was basically his whole point.
Sure.
Which, whatever.
Moving
Moving on. Skipping over the sneak peek into season 3, because whatever. Then the husbands are out.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And that's when we get to the Connor thing.
So Connor opens up about how he was assaulted when he was a kid. And a couple things about this. I think that when you are a man in a religion like Mormonism, like Christianity, like certain like what was it? But the sects? Is that the
SECTS?
No, that's not the word I'm looking for. Like the subcultures. I don't know. Like different versions of Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
When you're admitting something like that, that has to be the most terrifying thing you can say out loud, because you are told in no uncertain terms you don't talk about these things. You cannot be honest about some of these things in a lot of cases. And I don't know that this happened within the church, but I do know that when it does happen within the church, they will do everything in their power, and that some churches in a lot of scenarios will do everything in their power to protect the abuser, because you don't want to ruin his life, or like whatever the crock of bullshit might happen. I think that when Connor admitted this, I was so incredibly proud of him for admitting it.
I was so impressed because I'll be honest, leading into this, my impression of Connor was that he's a little weaselly. We had the dating app stuff. We had him just being kind of like strange almost. Mm-hmm. Like I didn't really get him, but I have such a newfound respect for him because that gave so many little boys a voice. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
I agree. And I think that guys, this happens to guys. Like it happens to women disproportionately, but it also happens to guys. Mm-hmm. And I think you have to be honest. You have to name it and you have to call it out.
Or it'll continue.
It will continue. And
if you never point out the monster will continue to.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, I think Connor did an incredible thing. And like what I was really, really, really happy about is that the girls that had a problem with Whitney throughout the season, they're able to put their bullshit aside and go up to Connor and be like, I am so proud of you. You're going to help a lot of people. Like they really built him up.
Yeah.
And
he was really brave.
Yes. They did get into his porn addiction a little bit.
I feel, okay, after seeing the reunion, I feel like all of that just kind of has to be put aside for him. Not because he deserves to be forgiven for everything wrong that he's ever done, but because he has to have such a skewed, fucked up mindset about sex. Not has to, but like it doesn't seem like a far jump when you were assaulted as a kid to have a weird kind of mindset. And by weird, I just mean not healthy mindset surrounding sex. I feel like it's not appropriate any longer for us to be talking about his porn addiction. I don't know, because I feel like, I don't know.
Well, I come at it from like, Whitney and Connor have decided that in their marriage, they had a rough time. They went through some rocky waters. They have shared their story. They've shared how they got here. Yeah. And now they are choosing to move forward with it. And that is nobody else's business but their own.
Right.
And I want them to be okay. Like
100%. It seemed really hard for Whitney when she was hearing his recounting of what had happened to him. She was like very emotional. You can tell it was really hard. And that's kind of where I'm coming from, where like I think not only was this so upsetting to hear and powerful and brave, but it also kind of gave context to Whitney being so forgiving about what had happened, because he says this came up in therapy when they were talking about their problems with their marriage. And so that's kind of where my perspective of like, okay, I'm not making fun of his porn addiction anymore, because they just gave context to it that makes it so much darker and harder to grapple with. But like, Can we say for a second, good on him for the way he's handled himself up to this point? He seems like an excellent father.
Mm-hmm.
He's been a good husband to Whitney, obviously. He's like been there for her.
Yeah.
And he did all of that before even facing this huge demon.
I agree. I don't have a problem in the world with Connor right now.
No.
I think Connor's great.
No. And all the problems I had with Connor before, if we're being honest, were just me judging that little man.
Yeah. What else? Was there anything else that was notable in the reunion?
Nothing of note. The only thing that I thought was funny and silly was in the preview to season 3, they show Marciano getting a lie detector test.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I do remember seeing that, and like a couple of things. I don't need that. I don't want the whole trope of like, oh, we're bringing in an expert. Like I feel the same way about this as I felt about Megan King Edmonds bringing on a sidekick in the early seasons. I say the early, but it's like somewhere in the middle of The Real Housewives of Orange County to figure out that Brooks was faking cancer. I feel the same way about The Real Housewives of New Jersey bringing on that weird man in the first couple of seasons where he was like allegedly part of the mafia and he was part of the I'm probably going to get it wrong, but the Gambino crime family. Like, I don't need it.
Because we don't do that in real life.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, if someone, your friend or whoever, lies to you in real life and you're trying to get to the bottom of it because you have 2 different stories, you're not calling in a lie detector. That's not how life works.
But I like...
And also, they don't work.
They're
not
work.
Admissible in court.
You're not supposed to have them on camera. Like... You're not supposed to have anyone else in the room. They also teach classes about how to lie.
Trick 'em, yeah.
Like, God.
Not to mention, Marciano's probably 10 drinks in. It's not built for him.
Marciano, let me just tell you something that I know about Marciano is that there's not a lie detector test in this world Marciano couldn't pass. I don't know anything about Marciano, but I do know that about him.
Oh, yeah. You can just... Because he just doesn't care.
No.
He'll say anything.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Jesus Christ.
He is like Jax Taylor. I feel the same way about Jax Taylor. Never give him a lie detector test. He's going to pass every time.
Yes. He's going to only add to the credibility of those classes that you can
yes.
go to. He's going to teach one of those classes.
Right. He only gets worked up when it's like in his favor to be worked up.
Yes.
It's not.
Does not care. That's where we're at. Do we have anything else, ladies and gentlemen? I don't know who I'm talking to.
This lady doesn't have anything.
Well, I think that brings us to the end of another episode, dear listener. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Comment, subscribe, whatever you want. We love you. From Indy to... We have a listener in Egypt. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Wherever. We
Fly
love you.
us out to Egypt.
Fly us to Egypt.
We love you. We'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week.